Well, Cassius is working as a telemarketer. The first scene is his job interview, and then he's kind of doing this white voice thing that I like, that Boots Riley took something from his personal life and brought that in. So Boots,
I didn't know that he had that experience. That's very interesting.
Boots Riley was a telemarketer before he was a rapper. I think he started so the Coup, that's his rap group. It's kind of like a band. He's really the only rapper, but it's there's an electric guitar and a keyboardist, and I've checked them out. They're actually pretty good.
Cool.
Their first album is 1993, so before that he's a telemarketer.
Yeah, because he's in his he's almost 50.
Yeah,
just looked the other day, so I wasn't sure if he was a young dude or not.
No, he's been around for a while, and he's been trying to make this movie for a while. A number of years. I'm guessing he wrote it after Occupy Oakland because it's very much the vibe that, at least from Occupy Wall Street, that I saw, that is present in this movie. And a lot of the same things that movement was trying to accomplish, he's talking about here.
Right.
Yeah, so Cassius Green, he has this activist girlfriend played by Tessa Thompson, who anybody who knows me knows I have a massive crush on. It's funny.
I was like, oh, this is the person who's Greg's been posting about nonstop.
Who has this activist girlfriend who goes on this wild ride through the upward mobility of this call center, this Regal View. He becomes what's called a power caller, which is basically you're selling human slavery.
Also, we should back it up. Basically, he's working in a call center, and he's essentially excelling at his job because of this white voice that he's doing that allows him to get more business. And they take a notice to him, the powers that be there. Not the ultimate powers that be, but the sort of management of the lower level guys.
Yeah.
And they want to make him what's called a power caller.
Yes.
But we don't know what that means.
We don't know what that means at the beginning. But also, there's a unionizing that's going on.
Yes.
And Stephen Yoon, who's he plays Squeeze in he's kind of like this union, this character, and then it's his first idea to start the union, and it's kind of hinted at that he kind of goes around to different companies where there's like disgruntled workers and kind of starts unions there, because he's talking to Detroit later in the movie, who's Tessa Thompson, and he said like, oh yeah, I was in LA and we started the first sign twirlers union. So there's a general strike basically, and first Cassius is into it, and but then eventually a second that they're willing to promote him, he just sells out his coworkers, and then he goes up to being a power caller where they sell human slaves basically.
Yeah, and I mean, I can sort of maybe not personally relate, but I could. It's not as cut and dry as like he sells out his friends. Like, it's very clear that this is a guy who struggled mightily. He barely has a place to live, and it's falling apart, and his car's a piece of shit, and it's kind of putting, you could almost put yourself in his position where you're like, wow, this opportunity is going to, enhance my life in such a way, but it's at the expense of, some of my morals. And
that's also something that comes up when he's crossing the picket line. He was like, my uncle's about to lose his house.
Exactly.
I need this money. And you do understand him.
You do.
And that's kind of what that stops people from unionizing in the real world, is that they have their actual problems and they need solutions for it. That they can't strike and not get paid because their house is going to be taken away.
Yeah.
And I think what Boots Riley is kind of trying to say is that the reason why, people are paid so little at those jobs is because then they can't strike and they can't demand more, because they need this, because they go one paycheck and everything's gone.
Very timely.
Very timely. It's a timely movie. I always, I was saying in 2020, this is the movie to watch, because it really it really just stomps at everything that everybody is complaining about, like right now.
Yeah, and then, couple that with the fact that what they released the other day, the top 10 billionaires in the country, their wealth has grown exponentially during the pandemic. So.
And while everybody is suffering and barely working during a pandemic, that these people are doubling and tripling the amount of money that they have.
Yeah, and Congress, who, supposedly represents us, taking a vacation in the middle of August when they still haven't fucking resolved the stimulus situation.
Yes.
And unemployment expired, and they can't even get their fucking act together.
Right.
To get something done. Fuck them. It's fucking disgraceful.
I gotcha.
It's fucking disgraceful.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
But
agree.
this movie is sort of unfortunately, I was saying this when we were watching it. I'm like, I can understand him saying, like, this is like some crazy scenario where if we don't get our act together, this is what's going to happen. And
but it has happened.
It's kind of like it has happened. Yeah.
And so the slave labor that he's kind of selling is this company called Worry Free, where, people voluntarily sign up, but it's how voluntary is it when it's like you're literally about to lose everything and this is your only option? Because you see the people who are signing up are like kind of about to lose everything.
Yeah, like his uncle who's about to lose his house. And Worry Free is essentially jail or human slavery, as Greg mentioned, but it's kind of and it's heartbreaking when the uncle breaks it down where he sounds like he's describing prison, where he's like, well, it's 3 square meals a day and blah blah blah, and it's like, it's fucking crazy. I mean, I saw a unbelievable amount of parallels to Amazon.
With the Worry Free, yes,
absolutely. And I mean, I have the experience of our cousin worked for Amazon for a while as a driver, and I was between jobs at the time, and he actually got me in there. I went through the training. I did 2 days of the training, and man, I was like, fuck this shit. First of all, look, I think it's inappropriate to throw the word slavery around, so I'm not going to do that.
Right.
In the film, the
only reason I do it is because they call it that in the movie. Yes.
No, I'm not, of course. And they do call that. That is what it is in the movie. But, when it comes to the Amazon experience, and I'm sure a lot of people that might be watching this might have that experience, it's unbelievably inhumane. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. You're showing up at a warehouse, and they have these kind of third-party companies that are not necessarily Amazon. They're kind of like employed by Amazon. It's just another way for Amazon to not fucking pay people. Yeah. It's like, you're an independent contractor, man. Yeah. It's like, yeah, except I'm not, because if I don't fucking fulfill the shit that you want me to do, you're going to fire me. So or whatever. But, and you don't give me health benefits. I don't know if Amazon gives health benefits. I didn't get that far. But my point is, you show up in a fucking factory at 5 a.m. like cattle, and everyone's lined up, and you got one of the managers fucking screaming at you, and then all the vans line up, and all the it's just, if you don't have the experience, people will know what I'm talking about. It's
I don't have the. I don't like Amazon either, but
it's quite a sight. It's quite a sight. I mean, that's why they're able to get fucking packages out. Exactly. You order it, and it's
but that's another thing that the movie is trying to say. So Stephen Lift, Armie Hammer's character, who's the CEO of this worry-free company, the reason why he has so much money is because he does not pay his employees. And that's the reason why he's a billionaire. And you look at, you look at Jeff Bezos, and the reason he has so much money is because he does not pay his employees. If Amazon paid their employees what they are worth, Jeff Bezos would not be on track to be a trillionaire.